Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Politics are only needed by people incapable of running their own minds. I'm now going to transplant a human brain into the head of this lion.
Sounds like some bad movie.
Oh, and that's about what we're gonna do this evening. Oh yeah.
What happened?
Oh, it just sounds like some bad movie. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Welcome to Moviesucktastic. I'm Scott. That's Joey.
Yo.
And Joey, who recommended the film we're working on today?
Actually, it's a friend of mine. His name is Steve Ransom. He emailed me a little while ago and said, you guys should review this.
All right, first of all, cool name.
Well, I'll tell him you said that.
Steve Ransom? Come on, that's great. Him and Matt, he and Matt Half Molotov can team up together.
Sure. Get some business done.
So but what I do want to say to him is, thank you. Thank you. This episode and the last episode have been so delightful. It's so delightful to just have people draw your attention to these films you were never on your radar, and this film was so great and horrible at the same time.
You're not wrong. You're not
and
wrong.
the film, I'm sorry, we didn't even say that. Well, the film is Latitude Zero. So this is now opening. Toho production. It's like, all right, I know we're in for something.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you want? You okay if I go into the background briefly, or do you have anything you want to bring up right away?
I guess the only thing I'd bring up right away is the connection that I found between this film.
You go first, sir.
And I'm wondering if you found the same one.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay, so. The guy that plays Perry Lawson.
Can I quote Family Guy?
Go ahead.
Jackal? Is it Jackal? 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 Is it Jackal?
Yeah.
Is it Jackal?
Yes! So, yes, we found the same connection.
Dude, I had no doubt that you found that. How could you miss that?
But what's crazy about it is last week we get a recommendation for someone to review The Dark, right? And Richard Jackal, his son, Richard Jackal Jr., was a stand-in for The Dark.
No. Richard Jackal played the cop.
No. That is not... No.
Oh, we got... I'm all right. I'm on there right now. The actor, Richard Jackal.
It says stand-in.
Richard Jackal is not a stand-in. He plays Perry Lawton. He's the character.
Oh, you're right. Yes, his son also was a stand-in in the movie as well.
Okay, that I didn't see or didn't care. My point is we had two different people recommend two different films from two different countries, I believe, and they both had Richard Jackal in them.
Yes, my mistake. Yes.
Yes. Oh, don't confuse me, man.
He's the cop that wouldn't. He just this TV station sucks.
This show sucks. I spent
this
so
channel.
much time just
This
talking
channel
about him
sucks.
playing that character, and then he just pops up in this film in the opening. It's like, holy shit! I noticed in the credits. I didn't even get to his first scene. I was like, Jackal, is that Jackal? I am now obsessed with this man just because the synchronicity has brought him to us in this way.
He actually died young. Well,
yeah.
I mean, he died when he was 70. I think that's young. But his last film, what was the last film he did? It was he was on an episode of Baywatch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that he was on Baywatch.
It says he was nominated for one Oscar. It's got to be Tor. Oh no, no. No, you're right. That was Joseph Cotton. That was in Tor. Sometimes a Great Notion, 1972, best supporting actor. He was nominated for that. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, sure, Cesar Romero's great, but Richard Jackal owns this movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't stop seeing or hearing the Joker when Romero does anything.
But yeah, very briefly, as far as the background to this, which I thought was interesting, the origin of Latitude Zero is actually a 1940s radio serial.
Really?
Yes, that the author of the serials, who went on to write for television, wanted to have made into a feature film, and this was the result. So Ted Scherderman, whose name is third credit for writers, he came up with the original story, and the episodes, as far as I've seen in my limited online research, I didn't pull an all-nighter. The original radio show is lost media. There's a rumor of one episode that aired somewhere on a live stream or something, but I don't know what that leads to. So it's lost media. So this film is an adaptation of that radio show.
Oh, wow. And
yeah.
This is a Japanese film.
Well,
and
it's a joint production. Actually,
it is. It's got a Japanese director and Japanese writer. But it's interesting that they produced a film from a serial from the 40s.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was shopping around, and I think at the time, this is the kind of film that they were trying to crank out, or just
right.
If you look up the box office from the previous years, oh yeah, we got to make movies like this. So this is one of those. I personally see this as a cross between Thunderbirds and Doc Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what else? And I probably I shouldn't say I probably shouldn't bring it up, but we are not reviewing this film in light of the submarine that imploded a week ago. That is just a coincidence.
I didn't even think of that. Another synchronicity. Man, laying it thick tonight. Like it. Yeah, no, this was a successful...
Hold on. I'm going to yell at one of my children. I apologize to everyone. Daniel!
Yeah?
I'm in the next room.
Close the door.
How about you close the door? Do not close it all the way. Do not close it all the way. All right, I apologize for that. Just a little parenting right there.
That was Daniel.
Yeah.
So actually, this is another unsuccessful submergible scene. So yeah, that's like kind of ironic too. Yeah. So the whole idea of the film. Actually, I've been talking too much. If you want to introduce the movie.
No, I thought you wanted to kick off the plot structure.
No. I wanted to make sure I touched the background of like the origin story of the screenplay. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what you have is two scientists and a photographer. Two scientists and a photographer walk into a submarine.
Photographer is Jackal.
It's
Jackal.
It's the Jackal.
Okay.
He's just call him Jackal.
Jackal.
What's up, Jackal?
Jackal.
They get submerged to. He wants to take pictures. He's writing a paper.
Documenting
Yeah,
deep sea.
they're doing a
There's
deep
like
sea dive, and things go awry.
Yes, they're knocked off their sexy orbit, and
Which is what immediately made me think of the submarine implosion from a week ago.
I never made the connection. I've been, man, I'm losing it this week. I'm
all right.
not making the good calls. Good catch.
I feel redeemed since I screwed up the Jackal connection, thinking it was just his son, and I was like, wait a minute. When you said it, immediately it hit me. I'm like, man, I'm an idiot.
Except he's not an asshole in this film. That's why it's great. He's the exact opposite of the character from the previous movie.
It's like, don't worry, I'm not going to light up in here. I just carry him with me. It's like, what?
You knew where you were going, right?
Yeah.
And I love that they have to actually set up why he has a tobacco pouch on him later. You know, it's just because no one's going to believe he had a tobacco pouch if we don't set it up beforehand on why he would have a tobacco pouch. Oh, I always carry it in my camera kit. Ha
Ha
I wish he had lit it up. That would have been funny.
That would have been great.
That's probably what happened on the. Never mind.
Whoa.
No. I back up real quick. I knew we were in for a treat when the film opened up on a close-in of the map with the zero on the latitude and longitude. Latitude Zero. It's like, oh, this is gonna be great.
This, there's a drinking game, or at least there's many where you take a drink when they say the title of the film, and that happens literally in the first 60 seconds of this movie.
How about every time there's a miniature? There's a lot of miniature work in here, which is the one of the Thunderbirds references I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the submersible, for example, that they, it is a miniature at some point. They do have live shots. Yeah. But that's a miniature they drop in, and or was the boat? Was the boat in that a miniature that entire scene too?
I want to say that was probably like a 1/64th scale miniature of some kind, because it needed to have weight when it was being submerged underwater, and when it dropped and it hit the bottom. You can't just do that with something that's not of some size.
Yeah, and I want to defend the film a bit here. As far as miniature work goes, this stuff is far above and beyond what you see in your typical Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah. I
mean, there's some really good there's some really bad stuff in there too, but there's some really good miniature work.
Considering that, I wouldn't doubt that a lot of the people that worked on this probably have worked on some Godzilla films.
Toho.
Well, yeah. Well, did you also notice that? And I know this is shooting further in, but I'll just bring it up real quick. Those monsters that he had, it was like the bird monkey things.
I didn't even see those.
Well, anyway, that was like maybe a half second, maybe a tenth of a second stopped short of just being a Godzilla noise. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice
when they made those squeak noises, or they weren't even squeak, but the noises that they would make, it was literally a half a second away from full Godzilla.
Well, I mean,
because the Godzilla, it goes, and then it bellows out. They stop it before it bellows out, and it's just believe me, it was so close to being.
I believe they have a sound bank somewhere, stuff that they can use. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they just cut the Godzilla noise in half and gave it to those things.
Again, it's Toho.
Yes, it is.
They got to cut the corners where you got to cut the corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they put the two Japanese men. Yeah. And
which very tall.
Down there.
Very tall Japanese men.
When the eruption happens and their submersible is knocked ass over tea kettle. It's such a violent reaction that it somehow rips the Jackal's clothing off of him. This guy is half naked more in this film than in any other film I've seen him in so far, which is two. I mean, I'm just saying.
I love his profile on IMDb. I'll read it real quick.
Yeah.
Stocky tough guy character actor Richard Jekyll was one of Hollywood's most prolific supporting stars. Born in Long Island, New York, Jekyll's family moved to Los Angeles when he was still in his teens. After graduation from Hollywood High School, Jekyll was discovered by a casting director while working as a mailboy for 20th Century Fox. Although he had some reluctance to act, Jekyll accepted a key part in a war epic and remained in films for over 50 years, graduating from playing baby-faced teenagers. And then it goes on. It's even longer. I mean, this bio just says Jekyll probably 12 or 13 times. Huh?
I mean, he's a war veteran. He's just he just he did a lot of work, a lot of good work, apparently.
Yeah.
Jekyll. I mean, I haven't seen any of the good stuff yet. We're getting there.
Oh yeah. Well, what else was he in? Sands of Iwo Jima. He was in the Dirty Dozen. Oh man.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
I saw that once, like 30 years ago, and I wasn't even that into it because I'm not huge on war films, so I don't remember it. I have to review that again. Rewatch that. So the Jackal and his cohorts are saved by.
Joseph Cotton. What's his name?
Captain Craig Mackenzie. Yes. Now, I need to make a comparison here. So the Mackenzie has this giant ship, submarine. Sorry. Gold is a very, very, very prominent color in their palette. I was trying to think of a good way to say that. There's a lot of gold. They're wearing gold. There's things gold everywhere. They draw it out of the ocean. It because of everything. So it's the ship with this gold-based submarine run by this pirate, and this is very reminiscent of the classic Illuminatus Trilogy, which was written in the '60s and is headed by Hagbar Celine, who is the captain of the Golden Apple. Which is a gold submarine.
Oh, really?
And that reminds me of Zaphod Beeblebrox in The Heart of Gold. I mean, I'm seeing...
Only you would even... I'm glad you are you, because...
Let somebody's happy about it.
Well, I'm just saying, because I wouldn't have cared. I just wouldn't have gone... I wouldn't have done a deep dive for this. But then again, I'm not even saying that you did a deep dive. I'm just saying that you probably have this stuff, and you just knew offhand.
This shit just happens to me. I reread the Illuminatus Trilogy about a month ago, the first book, and during it, I'm just seeing all these connections to Hitchhiker's Guide, and it's like, this is blowing me away. And like, was there a connection? I don't know much about Adams. Did he read that? Was there which one was like written first as opposed to published first? Blah blah blah. And then this film falls in my lap, and I'm watching it and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking Illuminatus again. What's going on here? So I just think interesting the parallels. Now, the idea of renegade captains in submarines or ships. Very common in like 40s, 30s serials, Pulp Fiction, etc.
Sure.
40,
oh, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Excuse me if I get the dates wrong. I'm not a fucking professor. But Captain Nemo is a very famous one. Has nothing to do with this. You'd say this is a ripoff of that. I don't know which one was published first. Probably Nemo. But did Nemo come out before the radio serial? I don't know. Anyway,
probably.
It's not an uncommon trope. So it's really hard to say that they're direct ripoffs or connections, or that there's got to be a connection. I just find it interesting.
Gotcha.
And I had to touch on that. And also, I mean, but again, unlike Nemo or a lot of these other captains that you'll see in this kind of trope, this one's very, I don't want to say feminine, I would say pansexual.
Pansexual?
You get a very strong pansexual feeling.
What gave it away? The ascot?
The ascot gave everything away, sir. But like just demeanor too. Like they don't, and like the ascot's like the least gay thing he wears. And he wears it well. I mean, he pulls it all off. But you just get this sense, and it's never hinted, and they don't do anything with it. But you just got a feeling that this ship is really, and it was, again, this is in the 60s, right?
69.
70s. 69, right? Dealing with the whole hippie movement.
Giggity.
So you really have a mix of sci-fi and hippie subculture.
Right.
Not surprising, especially when you're dealing with a utopian society in that day and age. That's what you kind of consider. So free love is just a part of it. I mean, you have the co-ed bathtub, the hot tub of immortality they get into.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's cool. Everybody's cool. After you. No, you should get out first.
It's like it's not that kind of movie.
Right.
That's why they got out first.
Yeah.
What was this rated? I want to say this was rated P or rated G.
Now, here's something I caught in some of the brief research I did. The scene, this is like in the third act, where they get into the bathtub of immortality. More of that later. They actually wanted the actress. Who was that? That was that Lynn?
I'll tell you who it was.
I think that was Linda Haynes.
Linda Haynes.
They wanted her to. They wanted to film her getting into the tub fully nude, and because they didn't want to they didn't want to do anything too raunchy, and they was like, well, let's do one for the foreign release. Fuck America. Give me some nudity I can put in the foreign release so we can make some extra money. So, and they tried to convince her, and from what I've seen, she said no. So supposedly they put her in some kind of bodysuit and tried to pull it off that she's naked. So I don't know if that version exists out there, but they tried to do it. So that was the closest they got to doing any kind of Barbarella stuff here.
Yeah, because I was. That's all I kept thinking about. Anytime they had her in a skimpy outfit or with the tub of. Not immortality. It was the tub of what? Immortality?
I thought it was immortality.
I guess
because it makes them bulletproof.
Okay. Well. Okay. Fine. Immortality.
I forget. I could have sworn it was called the bathtub of immortality.
Maybe it was. Anyway, so anytime they did that, I just kept thinking of Barbarella.
Oh, you know what? Barbarella, oddly enough, did not. Honestly,
didn't that come out the same year?
I don't know when I don't. You know the numbers.
I think it did, and I think that's why they probably were doing it.
There's another reason. Yeah, again, same kind of sci-fi fantasy with a hippie twist to it.
Barbarella came out in '68.
There you go. So that you can see why they made this film.
Yep.
We're eating this shit up. Now, so this utopia they take them to. What was the name of it again? I did not take notes. I'm an ass. But they
wait, say that again.
It's Latitude Zero.
Yeah.
Did they just call it Latitude Zero? I thought they had this name for the city or something.
Oh.
Anyway, it's an underground paradise where
I don't remember.
Everybody lives forever, or for hundreds of years. The captain is like 180 years old or something.
204.
204. Thank you.
And, what's his face? Malik Cesar Romero is 203.
Malik, that bastard. You're gonna find out later. There's a little kind of Venture Brothers thing going on there too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you like Venture Brothers, this film is just made for us freaks. Great. I mean, now I'm already on the fence. This is like the same shit you usually see, and I thought it was interesting where they have a lot of discussion about how they do things. They're just just exploring the utopia. A lot of backstory filler and philosophy talk before we get to the action. And I love the one part. I have a slide in it with the subtitle where the captain's saying, well, was it Captain Mackenzie, right? Captain Mackenzie says, well, politics is only needed by people who don't know how to govern themselves. And I was like, dude, yeah, right on.
Peace, man.
Peace, granola. Yeah,
granola.
Yeah, and everything's kind of kosher on some level. Everything's like, yeah, this is all kind of interesting. Malik's introduction is when the shit goes sideways.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's when just like, all right, everything was trying to abide to a kind of realistic thing, but no, Malick's is going to draw us right into the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Cesar Romero is.
And Cesar Romero.
I mean, this is. I mean, this
What?
is kind of towards the end of his career. So, I mean, he's known for playing the Joker. Probably
No,
most.
people got-
Huh? Well, I mean, most notably, he was in a lot of film, but the Joker.
I guess the Joker actually paying that well. I mean, I don't think they were making bank on that TV show.
No, but like the crazy shit, sounding crazy and yelling, and the crazy faces. Yeah, that was like, give us a little Joker, but for our movie.
Did you see the opening that I made for this episode?
I did.
I had to put that line in the opening.
Yeah, no, it was the opening for this show is great. It's a lot of work to change it up every time we do an episode.
It's actually not. That's why I change it up instead of doing a whole new one.
Oh.
Then it'd be a lot of work.
Okay.
I mean, not to make no, you're right. It's a lot of work. I'm sorry.
It's so much work. Much work.
Anyway, so yeah, Malick wants to destroy Mackenzie. What's Malick's overall goal? Just destroying the world?
Yeah, he wants to destroy Mackenzie most of all.
Yeah, because they're rivals, they're childhood rivals. 200 years later, shit never goes away.
Yeah. I'm now going to transplant a human brain into the head of this lion.
Fucking yeah, man, yeah.
Now, for a film that's rated G, not that.
Huh?
Like, if I watch this with a young child, I would think I wouldn't want him to see some of this stuff.
Don't get ahead. Back up.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to lose that. But so we find out, and this again reminds me of Doc Savage. This whole idea of they have the submersible car and they infiltrate the above ground. Also, actually, bears a similar philosophy to Atlas Shrugged, at least as far as like getting useful people out of the above world and bringing them down where they can do some real good. Except it's not capitalist; it's actually socialist in a way, and Anne wouldn't have liked that.
Okay.
Sorry.
You all right?
And the conflict between these two sides occurs this time because Malick knows that Captain Mackenzie is going to bring this scientist and his daughter down, and he intercepts them and kidnaps them.
Okay, right.
So he can lure them into a trap. He's Lex Luthor, basically. I mean,
essentially. And when he gets the one scientist so he can get his formula, and he finds out that he has a tracker on him, he goes, great! It's what I wanted anyway.
Okay, so it's at this point that they introduce the Bat People, and all bets are fucking off.
Oh yeah, those are the things that sound like Godzilla.
This film reminds me of the serials, the old ones. I love the push button panels. Where like the desk has like 20 push buttons, and there's one for like robot, trapdoor. Love that shit. When she pushes the button and the door opens, and for the cage for that, of course it's the Bat People button. Who doesn't have a Bat People button? Oh,
but did you notice the Bat People, so that they just didn't stand there and look like people in costumes, that they kind of like shook a little bit, like they just kept moving around.
Yeah, just fucking Sid and Marty Krofft.
They were like gyrating a little bit.
Yeah, so we're doing like Willy's Wonderland now. I mean, it's just ooh. And then he sicks them on them later.
She needs to watch everything.
She needs to watch everything. Yes, Caesar. Yes. Yes. So as you said, the scientist, the father scientist, he signals Captain Mackenzie, and they're like, "Shit, we gotta save him." So he equips our boys, including Jackal, with gold suits that protect them against radiation and stuff.
But not before they shoot them, to make sure that the bath of immunity, I believe it's immunity, not immortality.
Oh, immunity. Thank you. I apologize.
The bath of immunity works.
It's a hot tub of immunity, so they have to go into it, submerge it completely for 3 minutes.
3 seconds. 3
sorry.
seconds.
Seems like a very short time. And then when they come out, they're bulletproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only bulletproof, they are harm-proof, at least for a little while.
No, they're not, because the guy gets his foot burned off in the acid later.
His foot does not get burned off. Just the boot. No, just the boot.
But then why was he in pain, saying, "Get off, get off"?
Because the boot, ironically enough, that's the screenshot on the screen. The boot was melting off, but he was okay.
Hurting him. It was hurting him.
Yeah, I mean it's acid, so it should have melted off, but it didn't. The
So
bath of immunity helped him out.
Hot tub.
First of all, how dumb is he to even attempt to go swimming in that crap?
Well, yeah, all right. Well, let's broach that. Just to explain, there's a part in the film where so after they garb up and they go to what is it called, Blood Island?
Blood Rock.
Blood Rock, yeah. It's like Scab Island. Great, love it. Blood Rock. So they get on Blood Rock, and it's a dangerous rock, and at one point they're being chased by guys in rat costumes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you could see the zipper. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I wasn't looking.
Well, I wasn't looking either, but it's right there.
It'd be a spoil sport. I don't know.
It's like here's the you could see the seam.
They were definitely rodents of unusually large size. We can all agree on that.
Yes.
So they're being chased by them, and the three of them. One of the guys, what's his name? Mackenzie's right hand man.
Yeah, that was the guy that was getting his boot burned off.
Roga? Is that him?
It's Chin.
Was it Chin?
Was it Chin? I think it was Chin.
Okay. He was. Oh yeah, Chin. No, Chin was somebody else. I thought.
Really?
Anyway, his sidekick. Man, I should have taken notes. I'm an asshole. His first mate doesn't speak English. Only speaks Japanese. It appears.
I think it's Chin.
What?
I think it's Chin.
Okay, Chin, and he's the superior. He's like he knows shit. So when the two of the guys are pointing at the bubbling purple river, like, oh look, I wonder if we can get across that. He shows up and puts them aside. It's like, no. I'm thinking, oh good, he's smart. He's gonna grab a stick or something and check it. No, he just puts his foot in. So what the fuck? Come on. And again, like, well, how come he's not impervious to the acid? If what is it? Only bullets?
Well, listen, without the bathtub of immunity, probably would have melted his foot right off.
Also, by the way, that was a cult initiation. If you get out of something called the bathtub of
immunity,
and then there's somebody standing there ready with a gun, you're in a fucking cult. Good luck.
Can I help you, kitty? Get out of here. I don't normally have the door open, but because no one is here but myself, I have to keep my ears open for the children.
Who cares? You're good.
They're old enough, but it's just like damn cats are coming in.
Anyway,
bothering me. Yes, I'm sorry.
They got the suits. So this is more Doc Savage territory. The suits they have also shoot bullets from their fingers and flamethrowers.
Flamethrower, stun, and laser.
Oh, the lasers! I forgot. How could I forget the lasers?
And then, of course, Mackenzie is like, you could see it's like on the hand, it has like 3 lines, and he's like, this one is, this one's a flamethrower. Okay, and then he said this one is what was it? It was like a toxin. He goes, but it stuns, but does not kill. And then the last one is the laser beam, and he was like, do not use these unless you have my word to do it. It's like, wait for my word. And of course, nobody does. They just start using the shit.
Well, once the fucking killer Muppets show up, I was like, yeah, I'm shooting. Yeah, I'm sorry, Captain. I'm not really waiting at this
Like he's
point.
shooting fire and stuff at them, and then eventually
Okay.
they catch fire.
I need to discuss the genius that is Malik.
Okay.
So he kidnaps the scientist and the daughter.
Yes.
They're merely there to, one, get his secrets, and two, to draw Mackenzie there so he can kill him as a trap.
Yeah.
Trap he's very unprepared for, but a trap nonetheless.
It's a trap.
While doing that, he decides to entertain his captives by torturing and dissecting his former submarine captain. Oh, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh, her.
Yeah, the chick in black leather, the one that looks what's her name from Austin Powers.
Yes.
She looks just like the
What was her name?
chick in black leather. I don't want to look it up. But so he decides to entertain him by cutting her up and also cutting up a puppet lion and puppet vulture.
Well, first he captures her, tricks her,
captures her.
because she brings him the scientist and
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. She brings him the scientist, and she goes, my reward would be to be with you. It's been so long, and he's like, yes, we haven't been together in a long time. So he takes her in and then mousetraps her, and she screams, ah!
He lets her in the room, closes it. Then, right next to the door, not covered or anything, apparently there is a cage button, a cage switch. And he's like, thankfully no one ever thought that was the lights. Who knows? Maybe it happens quite often. I don't know how many visitors he has, but that's just very odd just to have a cage switch right there.
Right?
But that's why I love that stuff. I love the push button stuff. It's like it's so I love it.
Right.
So steampunk, I would say.
Almost, yeah. So then he's talking to the scientist. He goes, I want your formula. And he's like, no, I'll never give it to you. And then he says, well, you don't have to be alive for me to get this formula. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, I could just take your brain out and dissect it and basically download the information.
Access your memories.
Your memory bank, he says. Yeah. So he's like, no, you can't do that. He goes, of course I can. it's impossible for you, but not for me.
I think that's what happened. I think he took that as an insult. Like, motherfucker doesn't think I can't do that. I'll show him what I can do. You know what? Bring him down to the lab and get my lackey. I got an idea. I've had this Muppet lion sitting around for God knows how long, and the vulture we just got last week. I could kill 3 birds with 1 stone.
That's it. So he opens up one door, and it's a lion. Opens up another one. It's like a
no.
What?
It's not a lion. It's a guy in a lion suit.
Yes. Okay.
I'm
In the movie, it's just a straight up lion, but yes, it's a guy in a lion suit.
I'm just stressing that because it's not like it's a good special effect.
No,
it's like it's a guy that took furry too far. It's blatantly a man in a suit jumping around like a lion. I just wanted to clarify that there's no illusion to it.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do close-ups on the face. It's a fucking puppet. It's not even like real. It's fur. It's like it's felt.
Oh, it's absolutely felt.
It's a Muppet. So let's not call it a lion.
All of the animals, the beasts, everything in this is fucking, felt.
I just want to verify, because when I say Batman, or Man Bat, you can think of so I'm thinking of like a guy in a bat suit. But when you say lion, that's not the first thing that comes to mind. We need to underline this if you haven't seen this film.
Okay.
It's a guy in a lion suit.
It's a guy in every animal suit. So he raises that door up, and it's a guy in a lion suit. He raises another one up, and it's a giant vulture beast thing. And he...
So the Skeksis. Skeksis?
The Skeksis, yeah.
It was a Skeksy.
But that's like... God, that's like 14 years later.
Saying what it looked like.
Well, maybe...
I wouldn't be surprised if that was in somebody's memory banks when they were working on the Skeksis.
Sure, Jim Henson. Maybe Jim Henson saw this movie. Who knows?
Latitude Crow? Latitude Crow. Yeah, it was used Latitude Crow.
So, and then he wheels in the mousetrap girl, and he basically says,
Yeah.
"What?
Lucretia? Or was that?
No, that was his main woman. She was the one like administering the shot to the animals and to the mousetrap girl.
That's right. You
know, with the large rack.
Man, she wasn't bad. I have a problem with her performance. I'm just saying.
No issues.
When she draws the syringe at that point where they're gonna give it to the professor or the father scientist, that when she like gets the air out of it, she looks at it and gives a little like a I got that shot perfect for the slides because I loved that. It was just
wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, right. Oh, that'll work. You know, it's just she had personality to her. I mean, she put what she could into it. Everybody in this film really put a lot into very static characters. I think this is a film that really kind of demands that because everything's just kind of over the top to begin with, and not very well written. Not to be mean. So
hold on a second. I'm sorry, Daniel.
God damn it, man.
Daniel, you need to go find out what that was. There was a large bang upstairs. One of the cats did something.
Those goddamn.
You got to go find out what it is.
Maybe the boogeyman.
Daniel, go do it. This is what I'm dealing with. 13-year-old. I just told him to do something 3 times, and he just says, why?
Because the boogeyman wants you to.
Unbelievable. This is what happens. My wife goes out on Thursday nights. She knows I do the podcast on Thursday nights.
So
go out on any other night.
So they take the brain out of the Muppet Lion.
Yeah.
And I guess they discard that.
I don't know what it was. Nothing happened.
Stop. Something large got knocked over. Wasn't anything. Then I'm going to go upstairs and find like fucking case of wine knocked over or something. Calm blue ocean.
So he takes the brain out of the Muppet Lion.
Yes.
And then discards it apparently. Puts the lackey, the mousetrap lady's brain, into the lion, and then cuts the vulture's
wings off
and attaches them to the lion, making a griffin, more or less.
Yeah.
Less. I think there's more to a griffin than that, but
a little more. But what was interesting, so as he's doing this entire process, the father is like, "Don't do this! Do not kill that woman!" And he's like begging him not to. "I'll give you my formula." He's like, "It's too late for that," because he's thinking, "I am just going to cut your brain out and download your memory bank, or access your memory bank." So he's just like, that's just what I'm going to do. And then the daughter is like, ah! And then he's like, she must watch everything. And then she passes out, and the man-bat thing, like, wakes her up.
She must watch everything. She must see everything.
But then they have not a close-up shot, but they show him holding, a Dremel of some kind, like a reciprocal mini saw to cut the cranial, the head, and then, they don't show anything, but they just show him hold it, and it gets close, and then it, pans to the next shot. And I'm like, this is rated PG. And it's rated PG, no, it's rated G. According to IMDb, this is rated G.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't believe there was anything other than G at the time. I don't think they really rated anything.
I can't even get into looking up when.
Well, that's not 100% true because Midnight Cowboy
is older than that. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Midnight Cowboy came out the same year and that got an X rating.
I think there's just at this point there's a really low bar for G.
Yeah, definitely.
A high bar for PG. Especially there's no cursing or anything. I mean, there's no sex. Well, all right.
No.
I mean, nobody died. Well, no.
Had they been a little bit more, had she been a little bit more scantily clad, it probably would have got the PG rating.
Same point I made about Avatar 2 with the fucking arrows to the faces. I don't care what color they are. That's like 27 arrows to faces. It's like, how is that fucking PG?
13. But yes.
That's crazy.
It's crazy talk.
This G? All right, a little crazy. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't have guessed G if you asked me to guess what the rating was. I definitely would have gone PG.
Yeah, no, it's rated G.
According
According to IMDb, it's rated G.
Low bar. So it's classic Bond villain syndrome. You know, he's so busy proving himself to the guy that insulted his handiwork that while he's doing it, instead of monitoring his nemesis, who he's dragging to his location with this guy, he's not monitoring him, so he's able to get into the base.
Right.
And once he does, once they do, all bets are off. You got just before they get there, they released Griffin.
Yeah. And then he talks about how I can, with just a simple, did he say push of a button? I think he did. I can make this beast 3 times its size.
Yeah, I thought, and I guess he did.
It's like he has a button for that too.
Well, it's push button era, man. I tell you, everything's the push a button. Just ask Rosie.
The kitchen of the future.
Yeah. So and this is where they finally get to use all their. I mean, they actually got to use their glove stuff a bit earlier on the giant guys, the rats of unusually large size. But they really get into the lasers once they're up against the bat creatures.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And Mackenzie was the first one to use the lasers, so I think everybody just took that as a nod to, okay, laser time.
Yeah, he was the first one. I mean, he cut through a steel door so that they could go through it at one point. And I just loved the panning shot. It was like they were really doing something to the door, because instead of just showing them cut around, it was like it was cutting. It was taking too long. So then they spliced it, and then it moved forward like, half a foot, moved forward a half a foot.
It's just pacing. I mean,
I don't know about that, man. They could have been done. If what they were doing didn't actually take a long time, they probably wouldn't have had to splice it that way.
I'm gonna hazard a guess that the extra budget they put into the again, fairly impressive miniatures, maybe not the Griffin, but like the boats and stuff like that. I think a lot of that budget was kind of siphoned away from the department in charge of
What?
I forgot where I was going with that.
I don't know. I was talking about how it was taking a long time to cut a door.
Oh, yeah. So it's special effects like that, and then all the miniatures, all that budget went there, had little if no money for choreography. So fight choreography, none. So you've got great scenes where one of the scientists, one of the golden scientists, runs up to a bat creature and just like does an awkward side kick at him in his butt. He's just no real form or style. There's no. It's more. It's like practically slap fighting. Honestly, there's nothing. No one comes close to even throwing a realistic punch in any way.
And you could see the wires on everything.
Well, you can see them in Thunderbirds too. Let's be fair.
Well, yes, you can, but in this is just so much more apparent.
No, they did have a healthy mix of blue screen and wire work, so they tried both.
Well, yeah,
both nominal success. Again, a lot of money went into those miniatures.
Well, yeah,
a lot,
a whole bunch,
a lot.
Hey, if that's what you got and you know how to do it, I mean, every third scene is a miniature of some kind.
Oh, I love the shots of them in the when they're all in their gold uniforms in the cockpit.
Oh my
like the
God.
Alpha. Oh, I didn't mention that too. Also, it's the golden ship. It's called the Alpha, and then in Illuminatus Trilogy, it's the golden apple, because of the golden apple of Eris.
Ah.
And then later it's the heart of gold. So again, you got the Alpha gets translated there, and then the heart is almost like the apple. I got sidetracked. Sorry.
I like their orange jumpsuits. I'm looking at it in the shot when they first arrive. It's like, are they in prison?
Yeah, I don't like the orange jumpsuits. They're very, I know. I guess it makes sense. Oh, that's right. The film has a med bed in it.
Yeah.
Oh, great. See, the technology does exist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's great. If I saw that 5 years ago, I wouldn't even make anything of it. But now I'm like, oh yeah, the whole Q conspiracy stuff, and there's actually a whole segment of that conspiracy group that believes that med beds exist, like stuff like this in this film.
Right.
Like in this age, not in 1969, like modern people believe that this stuff that no one believed back then actually exists.
Is that
it's
right?
Great.
Oh my.
Yeah, but it ruins films like this for me. It's like, oh yeah, we'll take it seriously. Holy shit! I also, I mean, I guess I'm not trying to sound overeducated, but I kept thinking of Voltaire's Candide when he found the diamonds, and he's like, "Oh, you guys use? Oh yeah, we use them for
cutting things."
Cutting things and decoration, but yeah. Oh, you can have a pouch full of those if you would like.
He's like, "Can I have one of these?" He goes,
"Comes in." We set that up in the beginning, so you don't have to wonder how we suddenly had a tobacco pouch.
Yeah. He's like, "Can I have one of these?" You could have as many as you want.
I bet you that was a note that came back, and they had to put. I just imagine the writers, and the note comes back, and they, it's just, like the advanced screener or whatever, or whoever's. Somebody sends a note back, says, "Yeah, no one knows where you got the tobacco pouch." It's like, Jesus fuck, really? You gonna do a backstory on a fucking tobacco pouch? God damn it!
I just bring it along. I'm not gonna light one up. Don't worry.
Keep being a reader. But yeah, I mean, that's just another reference that. I mean, again, these films overlap a lot, but that's just another reference that this film reminds me of.
Even in Latitude Zero, gentlemen do not discuss the age of a woman.
Oh, no. Yeah, again, very, very formal, but very free at the same time. It really has that 60s vibe. And obviously the decor. Of course the villain has leopard skins everywhere. Of course he does. I love the decor. Why don't we make houses like this now? Why don't we have interior decorators that come in like, okay, we're going to put the panel of buttons here. All right? Then you're going to get the giant statue. I mean, just why don't we decorate like this? It's so fucking cool. I mean, I'm actually not that hip on Latitude Zero itself, but Malik's base is fucking tits. I'm digging.
Well, listen. I mean, there is definitely some parallel to real '60s decor.
Obviously, yeah. Because the '60s embraced that kind of Art Deco, futuristic.
Right.
I don't know if you'd call that post. I don't know what the terms are. I'm not smart, but I just love outfits. Not so much, but the decor. Yeah, I could dig crashing here.
Oh yeah,
big time. Alex got some taste. And he did drinks before he sicked the monkey creatures on him.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no,
Jonathan Coulter, Colton song, Skull Crusher Mountain.
But like when you're talking about the decor of the room, I mean, like even the windows were like very, George, the Jetsons, looking, futuristic kind of look.
It's a nice mix between. I can't even begin to describe it. Jesus Christ! I mean, and there's just the tiger pelts and zebra pelts everywhere. Just okay, whatever. I expect and Patricia Medina, who plays Lucretia. I mean, she's everything I expect from like a supervillain's girlfriend or
sure, right hand woman.
Yeah, Mr. Girlfriend. I mean, this film is a fucking gem. I just love this movie. It constantly surprised me when I was not prepared to be surprised. I was really the first 15 minutes. I'm really dug in for just like this kind of trippy utopian nonsense, and we get right into this bizarre land, and it never fucking leaves. It's just
this is a perfect example. This movie. This would have, had we known about it absolutely have been shown at one of our outdoor bad movie nights.
This is definitely a bad movie night film.
This absolutely would have been shown. This would have been an outdoor movie. We would have done that. We would have started it, and people would have looked at us and going, "You fucking serious?"
My favorite miniature of the film though is when they're flying.
Okay.
A little up and down. Just love that.
Well, when you sent me the screenshot, he goes, "Which one do you like more?" I'm like, "I like that one." They're all holding each other, like flying at the same time. I couldn't really get a good enough shot of the Griffin to really do anything with it. Right.
And I was just trying to go for some kind of group photo.
Yeah.
But I went with both your decisions, even though I disagreed with both of them. But I think you were right with both of them. So
I know I'm right with both of them.
That's why I asked you. Yeah. I hate when someone asks me and I tell and it's like, oh, I'm going to go with mine anyway. Says, well, why'd you fucking ask me?
Well, that is true.
Yeah. So I'm not doing that.
I just wanted you to say what I wanted you to say, and when you didn't, well, I'm just going to do it my way anyway.
Exactly.
Great. Yeah. Good for you.
I still think if the hot tub makes you
immune
to bullets, it should also make you immune to acid. Even the gold suit was supposed to be protective against radiation and stuff. So radiation, but not acid.
I mean, it did its job.
I mean, maybe it was some kind of super acid, but I mean, I still don't think he should have put his foot in there.
No. Well,
that's
apparent. Had he not been wearing the gold and took a bath in the immunity water, his foot probably would have melted off immediately.
So since we're doing spoilers, I think we can safely tell anyone who hasn't seen this film before, which would be silly to watch this, but then why not? Would be that the end is tragic for Malik and his hottie because he Sid viciouses her. Sid Nancy's her.
Yeah, and he's like,
horrible to see.
I didn't mean it. She goes, I know.
And then she pulls a Cletus from Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
But she turns the dirt.
Yeah, right.
And all I could think is that line from that one MST3K episode that he won't touch you. You're filth. There she is. She was filth. Oh, and then Malik is sadly taken down by his own creation when, shockingly enough, the brain of the person he double-crossed, tortured, and killed, and placed their brain into the body of a giant creep monster, apparently got pissed at him.
And that's the thing I'm thinking the entire time. I'm like, you're putting the brain of the person, like you just said, double-crossed, tortured, in the monster, and you expect it to do your bidding? Because from what I saw, you didn't do anything special to the brain. You just took it out and put it in.
I think he assumed all was according to plan when he was like, go! And the creature's obviously, well, I'm not going to fucking hang around here. I'm out of here. And she flies out. And then he's just kind of assuming, yeah, so anytime my bidding, she's going to do that. Yeah, not a good managerial decision.
No.
It's not how you treat employees and expect them to perform.
No.
Definitely learned that when I worked at Target for a year.
That's right. You did work at Target for a year.
A couple incidents, but we're not going to talk about it.
No.
But of course, everybody gets away, and the Japanese scientists decide they're going to stay in Utopia because you got to be out of your fucking mind. They already found girlfriends. I mean, shit.
Oh, yeah.
What are we going back to?
And that dude's 200 years old and looks like he's going to go for another 200.
We're going to go back so they can drop us down in another death trap to try to do? Yeah, no, screw that. But Jackal's got a pocket full of diamonds. He's like, yeah, I'm going back home, baby. And he's been taking photographs the entire time.
Yeah.
Which made me think of Captain. What was that? All CGI background movie. Captain Tomorrow or something.
Tomorrowland?
No. It was all CGI backgrounds. It was the first film to do that. It was that bad sci-fi film my father made me watch. We've talked about it before, and I can't think of the name.
Is it the... Shit.
The chick's the photographer, and all through the film, she's taking pictures of all this crazy Nazi shit. But then in the third act, she only has one shot yet left, so she keeps saving it for the end.
Why am I drawing a blank?
At the end, they're in a safety boat, and there are giant elephants and zebras and giraffes being parachuted in the sky from these space arcs that are on fire. And she takes the picture, and Ewan McGregor or whoever it was that's looking at her, she smiles at him, and he says, "Lens cap." That's the only good part of that fucking movie. It reminded me of that because I was hoping that would come up in the film. The lens cap was on the whole time. But no, ironically, since they were dealing with all this magnetic stuff, all the film was blank.
Oh, that one. Yes. That's Nicole Kidman. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
See, I told you, tomorrow. Yeah, Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Best part of that movie was the last sentence of it. Everything else in that film was like, oh, God. Not a good film.
God, you know what? I don't think I've ever watched that movie.
I wouldn't bother. We should review it. We should definitely review it. Because I wanted to like it, and it fought me every step of the way. This film just won me over 110%.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow? I thought it was Nicole Kidman.
So
I guess it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, I don't remember who. I think Nicole Kidman's another character in it. Maybe. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
So the weird part of the ending that I really feel like I just don't understand why they got to fuck with you that much is so Jackal shows up at the surface, gets rescued, and he immediately tells them the whole story. Just doesn't lie or anything. Says, "Yep, underground utopia, Captain Mackenzie, lasers, bat creatures, Griffin, the whole 9 yards, pocket full of diamonds." And nobody believes him, obviously. And then he goes to show the diamonds, but there's only tobacco in there. So they set the whole thing. And then the captain that comes in is the actor that plays Captain Mackenzie, but he's a different captain. And so
he's a Mackenzie, but a different first name.
They pull a Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Because then the doctor that comes in is Malik, Romeo,
right.
Caesar. And it's like, oh, okay, he was hallucination, blah, 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 blah. But then when the captain goes back to the brig, whatever the fuck it's called, that Mackenzie is like, oh, look here. He gets an order. Also, the guy behind him was one of the guys in the leather tunics on the submarine with Malik.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, yeah, we got this telegram from a bank for Jackal saying that there's some diamonds there for him. So how they know he was on the boat? So, I don't know. Like, oh, okay, so we're going to pull this fucking game. And then they got orders to move, so they changed their coordinates to Latitude Zero.
Yeah.
It's now you got a prisoner thing going on. Now I'm totally annoyed. But it feeds into the paranoia that I would expect from a film that I feel like in some way, shape, or form is connected to the Illuminatus Trilogy. It's got to be. Whether they ripped it off or he heard the serials, I don't know what the content of them is because they're lost media now. Man, shit's just coming together. But you enjoyed this film, didn't you?
I did.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. When I went in, and I think you had mentioned it earlier, it's like the movie starts out, and I'm like, I am going to hate this. And then as it keeps going and going and going, and I'm like, the miniatures, the dialogue, the decor, the motif, just the.
I was actually impressed with the giant map of Latitude Zero.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To stick at, it's like a nice. I mean, they put some effort into this.
Yeah. But I thought I was going to go in and I was going to be like, oh man, this movie, what the fuck? And then by the end of it, I'm like, I had a lot of fun. I didn't think I was going to.
I mean, if the bat creatures didn't win me over, they kind of got me. But once they revealed the puppet line, I was like, that's it. I'm in. Whatever you're going to do now, I'm not going to fast forward. We're stuck now in this mode because this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, when I initially saw it was an hour and 44 minutes, I'm like, oh man.
But then like after that point, it didn't disappoint.
No.
Still, I just there's so much. It's just such a campy blast of a movie.
Oh yeah.
Really can't I don't know if I can rate it high, but I can't recommend it enough.
No, definitely can't rate it high.
Speaking of ratings, I mean, is there anything we didn't touch on with this?
I don't
wanted
think
to make
so.
sure I brought the Sid
No, I
Vicious
think we got it all.
Yeah, I mean, just
Sky Captain, Jesus, and it's not Ewan McGregor, it's Jude Law.
Jude Law. Okay, yeah, I knew it was something like that.
Now, Latitude Zero. Oh, you know what's interesting? IMDb has this movie at 1 hour and 29 minutes, but the copy that I have is 1 hour and 44.
Wait. Let me see what's the length of my copy. Hang on.
It's got to be the same.
Oh no. It's got to be the same. I can't imagine us. I only found like one. I didn't have a choice. I had the one version I could access. That was it. Hang on. Mine is 1 hour and 45.
Yeah, but IMDb has it at 129. Let's see. Is there? Let's have a look. Let's see
the
if
only
they.
thing I saw about alternate versions was them trying to talk her into doing a nude scene. I didn't see anything else about an alternate version.
Well, even in the technical specs, it doesn't have anything about an alternate version. It just says 1 hour 29 minutes and a 2:35 aspect ratio.
I gotcha. The movie was shot in English. The international version is a running time of 105 minutes.
Oh.
That would be when it was released in the United States by National General Pictures. It was cut by 6 minutes. Although Toho's international version runs 105 minutes, its Japanese theatrical cut is just under 90 minutes long. All the dialogue is dubbed into Japanese. The film was also re-edited in the 1970s as part of Toho's Champion Festival. So we have the international version at 105 minutes.
Cool.
So we have the longest version.
It's the uncut version.
It's the only version I found.
It's the only one I found.
Yeah. Huh?
It's the only one I found as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we lucked out. I mean, it's not as long as the international version of Supergirl, which I have, but weirdest brag you're ever going to hear.
Yeah. Currently rated at 5.9 out of 10. Which, man, 6 out of 10. That's pretty high.
It is.
But that's quite high.
Because it's so charming and fun. It really. When I compare it to Thunderbirds, I do that in a good way. I mean, it's definitely made as light. I mean, I'm not surprised why they rated it G. It's technically family entertainment. I mean, the messaging is all good. You know, they do innuendo, but nothing outright sexual.
Right.
Like any, it's all very above board, and I can see why it has a higher ranking, because I would definitely see a younger audience just getting a fucking blast out of this. I know I would have probably liked it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can see why it has a higher rating. I understand that, and I want to go with it. I'm just curious how far we can go. I mean, would you consider a 6 for this?
I mean, I liked it enough to give it a 6. I don't know if it deserves it though.
Well, let's put it this way: we always consider 5 as like
average,
like the standard average.
Yeah.
This film is nothing. This film is not average. Average is not. That's not a word that's going to be used for this. I'm not saying it deserves a 10.
No.
I just feel like a 5 is really overlooking a lot of really unexpected weird shit that somehow works on a certain level.
All right, give it a 6.
And
you talked me into it.
And you know what? Give it a star just for the jackal.
For the jackal.
Yeah, so I rate this 6. And wrong button. I don't get that. And I will update that on our spreadsheet, which you now have access to.
I do.
I've been working on it, getting episodes up, trying to get those old ones work. I'm working on it.
Nice.
But this was great. Now, that's the end of our review of Latitude Zero. I think we're going to go into some listener voicemail or something of that nature.
Why did you bring that up? Because I forgot again.
Oh, I didn't know you. I'm sorry,
Dude.
I'm
I've
just
had a fucking week. Like, I need this week to fucking end.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I apologize. I thought we had it set up, and it's okay, dude. You're not on a time frame.
Here's the thing. I could probably play it because it's only in our Skype voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to hear it.
Let's play it. We have to take a week off with the holiday and everything, so we're not going to be recording next week. So when we come back in 2 weeks, let's review the request. If there's a request in there, we'll figure out what we're going to review for that, and we'll play the request before we review it. How about that? And Gino,
yeah.
sorry about the delay. It's just production issues, just typical bullshit. Sorry, it's not intentional delay. But what do you think, Joe? You think that's a good plan?
I think so.
All right, yeah. So we'll plan on reviewing one of Gino Cuddy's, because I think he gave us a couple requests for us to review, and we'll be reviewing that mystery film in 2 weeks. And until then, I'll be putting up older episodes of the video of our podcast on YouTube, and we have around 180 episodes up there right now. And so along with the weekly recordings of the new videos, we're also posting older episodes with slideshows, so you can listen to our older stuff on YouTube if that's the kind of thing you do. So if you listen to us on a podcast and you use YouTube, you may want to check us out. Maybe not. I don't know.
All right, here it is.
It's a sales pitch.
This is weird. It says it's 0 seconds long.
Oh, fuck.
I don't... all of our voice messages say that. Here, I'll even put it on the screen so no one thinks I'm lying about it. It says 0 seconds long. So,
well,
let's give this a shot, see what happens.
No, we're not going to play it now, I thought.
No, I thought you said we were.
No. I said you and I will play it at some other point, and then we'll play it live next episode before we review the movie that is in the request. So, because then we'll be set up properly for it. We're not just slapdashing it. We'll do it properly next episode, and next episode will be a review of the film requested in that voicemail.
Are you sure? I could just play it right now.
No, because I already set that up. I thought you understood. Because now I feel like now we're just like going in circles.
Okay.
Now you got to play it. All right, just play it. Now.
I just got it off the screen. It's fine. Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on a second. It's right here. Lord in heaven. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let me know if you can hear this.
Hello, Scott and Joey. This is Gino Cuddy calling. I hope you had an exceptional time recording tonight.
Play it.
I also pray that Joey had a sensational birthday and both have had great Father's Days.
I wish me a happy birthday and both of us Father's Days.
Future episodes. Firstly, I would like you to review the 1986 De Laurentiis-produced heavy metal horror film Trick or Treat, featuring Mark Price of Family Ties fame, and featuring cameos by Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne.
He says for us to review Trick or Treat from 1986. I feel like we reviewed that already.
Bringing up my spreadsheet.
Bring that spreadsheet up.
I believe we did too, but you know what? Before we say no to that,
I would love to review that. I love that movie.
I would want to, because honestly, going back on our older episodes, I've listened to one or two where it's like, I wish we could do a reshot on that because we missed a lot of stuff. I don't want to shit talk our own stuff right on the air, but our Krampus episode, when we reviewed Krampus, I feel like it was very, very underwhelming for such an excellent film.
Okay.
So it's up for discussion if it is there. But hold on, let me just bring up my list. I
really feel like we reviewed Trick or Treat.
I'm double checking. Is there more to play?
There is. A little bit.
And that I double check this.
All right.
Osborne. I'd also like you to take a look at a couple of Crown International films. I'd love you to review the romantic comedy My Chauffeur, starring Deborah Foreman, Flash Gordon Sam Jones, and WKRP in Cincinnati's Howard Hessman, featuring the screen debut of magicians Penn and Teller. Then I recommend the 1980 horror film The Hearse, starring Trish Van Devere and Joseph Cotton. I hope you have enjoyed reading my bi-weekly review column Western Wednesdays for Cinema Craze. You may read all my past reviews by visiting cinema-craze.com/blog/category facebook.com/Western-Wednesdays. Have a fantastic night, guys. Chat soon.
All right. He wants us to review. Oh, I missed the middle one, but it was what's his face? The guy that plays Flash Gordon. You know what? In lieu of playing it again, I'll just find out the name of it. But here's the ironic part. He wants us to review a film called The Hearse, starring Joseph Cotton, who is just in this movie.
Oh, shit. Which I'm pretty sure I have The Hearse already in my collection. Why did I type that in? You're looking something else up. So here's some news for you, sir. We've probably talked about it on the show, but according to my records, we have not done a formal review of Trick or Treat.
Oh, man. All right.
So that's on the table.
However, it's on the table.
The minute you mentioned the Joseph Cotton connection, I was like, oh, fuck, we got to do that. We got to follow that synchronicitous flow.
The other film he recommended with Sam Jones is a movie called My Chauffeur.
I think I have that too.
That's from '86.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have The Hearse. The Hearse is on free demand on Plex, but so it's available.
All right. So
I copy of that, but I don't. Hold on, and you said My Chauffeur?
Yes. So it's Trick or Treat, My Chauffeur, and The Hearse. Those are the three movies he's recommended.
Yeah, I have My Chauffeur, but I honestly think we have to do The Hearse just because of the Joseph Cotton connection. You want to do that next week? Yes, I think we're going to take Gino up on that, and those other two are still on the table, but this has to go just because it's connected. Joey, all the lines are crossing.
Don't cross the streams, man.
Oh, you gotta cross the streams. See, but that's how you gotta cross the streams.
You can't cross the streams. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
The streams are crossing.
I gotta go find out what the cat's knocked over. Motherfucker.
All right, let's wrap up then, sir.
Oh God, my children. Can you go look into that? No. What? Just go look. I don't want to. It's like they're on summer vacation. So they got the whole summer off.
Wrap it up.
If I can make my children get jobs now, I would.
Wrap it up, sir.
I'm telling you.
Calm Blue Ocean.
Yeah, okay. All right, everybody. Thank you, as always, for joining us for another episode of Moviesucktastic. Thank you, Steve Ransom, for recommending Latitude Zero.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. So go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download or review the show there. Go to iTunes. Do the same thing. Go to Facebook.com/Moviesucktastic, and you can just see whatever we post there, from us going live to trailers to just whatever we're putting up there these days. You can email us at themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can also go on the web and just do a search for Moviesucktastic. We come right up. Go and download the free app for your Android device at Moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk, or you can just download your favorite podcast player and do a search for Moviesucktastic. It comes right up. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
I'm going to put a human brain in the body of this lion.
And you're going to watch.
She must watch all of it.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. We're going to... Oh, that's right. Not next week. The following week. We will review Gino Cuddy's recommendation, The Hearse.
The Hearse.
All right, everybody. Talk to you later.
Bye.